You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the January 21st meeting for the Michigan City Parks and Recreation Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Welcome to the Michigan City Park Board meeting for Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. Would you please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Walker, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, Mr. Glidden.
Here.
Mr. Lavis.
Here.
Ms. Esper.
Here.
Whoever we have to talk about.
Minutes of the previous meeting, January 7th, were provided to us. Are there any corrections or additions?
I think on the original copy that I did send out with the agenda, it didn't have that Mr. Hoffman was present via the virtual, and I did change that for this copy. Oh, yeah, that's it.
All right.
On my version, I show our first regular session of 2026 was incorrectly stated as Thursday, April 17th, 2025. That was the only thing I noticed.
Yeah, I see that now.
I did too just now, and I looked it over earlier.
All right, I will change that as well.
Aside from that, I would make a motion that we approve the minutes from January 7th, 2026.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
New business. We have the Michigan City Fire Department Fill a Boot fundraiser.
Yes, the Michigan City Fire Department has done Fill a Boot fundraiser on Labor Day for as long as I can remember. It's been going on. And last year, we realized that we haven't been getting it approved at the park board meeting. Or it wasn't approved last year at the park board meeting until late, but I'm going to make sure that we start doing it again now. And Tia is here from the fire department if anybody has any questions.
Any questions, comments from the board? No. Any comments from the public? And what's your pleasure?
Just stick with that.
I would make a motion that we approve the Fill the Boot fundraiser for Labor Day weekend.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Harbor Country Adventures Agreement to rent Millennium Plaza.
Yes, so as the board may recall, for many years now, we've had a memorandum of understanding with Harbor Country Adventures. This year, the city attorney drafted a different style of agreement that's been presented to you. This has been approved by the city attorney, the mayor, and then reviewed and approved by our attorney, Nuremberg. As far as payment, last year there was a base payment fee of $3,000 to rent the plaza for the season. This year it would be $2,000 base rent and then 50 cents per ticket sold to the concerts, which based on last year's numbers would equate to $4,500 to $5,500 in addition. So we could be looking at, at least double. It'll be more than double than we paid last year. I'd also like to remind the board the value that Harbor Country brings to the plaza. They do furnish it. They pay for the porta pots. They clean it. Then you also have the boat tours, the jet ski rentals, paddleboard rentals, kayak rentals. So they really have brought life to the plaza that literally sat empty for 20 years after it was built. So I just want you to consider that additional value as well. And Mr. Thierry is here to answer any questions you may have.
No questions.
I don't have any questions.
Go ahead.
I would go ahead, no questions or any other comments, make a motion to,
Excuse me.
oh, I'm sorry.
Any comment from the public?
Good evening, President Glidden and Park Board members. Dakota Euler, 718 Emma Street. I want to start by thanking you for the work that you guys do and the effort that it takes to bring activity and programming to the Millennium Plaza. I have reviewed the 2026 agreement for the plaza, and I just want to raise a few points for clarification. First question of clarity is when I looked at the agreement online, it stated Exhibit A for the map to be included. And when I looked at the very last page, I did not see an Exhibit A included. So just wanted to make sure that, right.
We have it, it's not attached to mine either, so Dakota.
Okay, and then the second, out of transparency, when I go to the Park Department's website and for the rentals and it says Millennium Plaza, it links automatically to Harbor Country Adventures. So just want to see that property is available to the public for rentals. And if so, I think that should be updated because when I looked at the fees, administrative fees, I didn't see any rental rates for the plaza on there.
So the administrative fees are being approved tonight and then the website would be updated after. This is a new website, so we do appreciate people pointing out things that aren't linked up correctly. So we'll look into that. It's a website.
And then lastly, with the decrease of the $2,000 for the season, I do understand that there's an additional 50 cents for each ticket. But from what I can understand is that, they usually sell VIP tickets, which usually sits two. And then usually there's a bundle ticket as well for the entire season. And so just wondering if those VIP would be like $1 charge per seat or if there would be a different from the 50 cents for the bundle for the whole season.
No, there won't. It'll be 50 cents per ticket sold of any type. And just to elaborate, the $3,000 base fee was reduced by $1,000 this year because the city is now requiring a $4 million liability umbrella policy, which is very expensive. So we kind of negotiated that since the insurance doubled. And then we were getting the additional on the ticket sales.
Okay. I just went into the math for myself with the 30 events that took place in 2025. I figured with the 100 tickets as a minimum would be 3,000 tickets for the total, 50 cents a ticket, be about 1,500, which I imagine with the numbers you said earlier, it'd probably be about 3 times that. So for a $2,000 base fee with the 9,000, probably about 12, 11, somewhere in there, I would imagine coming in.
Mr. Thierry's here. I don't have the number of tickets sold last year. I just have the gross amount of sales and it was over $92,000 in ticket sales.
And so I just looked for an example with the amphitheater during the time season. It's a $600 rental rate. And so 30 events there would bring in $18,000 for parks. I do understand the value with everything else that goes on, but there's also no parking that is generated with that area. So just brought that to your attention. At the end, I'm offering these comments respectfully in the spirit of transparency for resident access and good stewardship of the space that belongs to the residents of Michigan City. Thank you.
Thank you.
Then I get a chance before you want to help the comment.
Hmm.
No, yes, and actually I have some of the same concerns and some of the same questions as Mr. Euler, who just stepped up. What's going on about his feedback? This happened last night. And I know, these were very popular events that happened down there, and it had a really good turnout. As a matter of fact, I went to a couple of them last year. And I was, looking at the dollar amounts that are coming in. As you said, we don't get any parking revenue from this, people coming in and doing this. I understand this is something that's been sitting dormant for a long time. But me looking at this and the type of revenue that could come into the park department, it's minuscule to me with us allowing, the usage of Millennium Park almost every weekend or every weekend that happens down there. Also, I had a question. Who does security? So I know there's alcohol being sold down there. Who does security for the events?
I don't need that. I got a big mouth. Michigan City Police Department, it's required. It's a city ordinance and, the state of Indiana requires at least one officer at any event that's selling alcohol. I don't think anybody wants to work alone, so we have two officers for every single event.
All right. And
So-
you guys just pay them.
We pay them 100%. Yep.
All right. Cause I wanted to ask the question, is there, uniformed officers that will create overtime, but not?
No,
Because you're
they
bringing-
they are uniform, but we pay for all of it.
Perfect.
Whereas like I think at North Point, the agreement you guys have out there, I think the city pays a portion of those officers,
Yeah.
but I pay 100% for the officers.
Yeah, I'm familiar with how that all works. Like if you do some kind of event in the senior center, you're serving alcohol, and most people buy or pay an officer who is off duty that comes in. So I was just wondering if it was the same way, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like the event. I wish it were actually in Washington Park.
So do I.
Yeah,
If you guys, you have such a great asset down there with Guy Foreman Amphitheater. And I get it. Every municipality is looking for money. The federal government's cut the state amount they get, the state's cut the counties. It's a trickle down effect. The problem that you don't realize any revenue from Guy Foreman. I mean, that's a loss for the city. I don't even need to look at the numbers for what you pay to maintain it. What do you do out there? 10 events a year? Nobody's going to do it because it's cost prohibitive. You start with that fencing, $3,000. You got to put a fence up before you sell ticket one. Now you need to bring in the amount of sound that it takes. Because I did 2 festivals there in the past, Beyond the Beach, and I love the venue. People love it. And I'm doing the food truck festival there. That production amount is twice the amount of doing something at a venue like Millennium Plaza. There's no infrastructure. If the city ever gets behind it and puts some infrastructure like permanent bathrooms and things like that, but the cost to put an event down there, a professional event, it is absolutely crazy. And I would say this, and you don't have to take my word for it. Every band that I have, anybody, you can contact those bands. They're on social media. The links are actually on my website. If anybody wants to spend any time in calling in bands, I think you would be amazed at what they charge. My ticket sales that I sell, the goal in my mind for the tickets is to cover the band, the production, and my staff. If you go on VetTix, I'm a veteran. We give away 150 free tickets to every single show on VetTix. You can contact the police department. You can contact so many community events. There are shows where 35% of the people that are in attendance are there on a complimentary ticket. Because look, I understand it's expensive to do anything these days. I got 2 kids, my wife. You go to the movies, you're going to drop $100 if you get everybody a popcorn. I try to keep things fair. I'm in the alcohol business. That's the business I'm in. I'm in the alcohol business. If I couldn't have a liquor license on that boat, there would be no boat out there, because the money I get for the tickets, and I haven't raised the price in the 8 years I've been here. Everything has gone up. My diesel, my insurance, my everything. It's booze. That's what I'm counting on. People to come. That concert, if I can break even on my overhead with the tickets, I'm super happy. But my money's in the bar. That's the business I'm in. I'm in the booze business. And this year, we're going to have food down there for people. And, as far as the plaza itself goes, I'm always amazed by how beautiful our lakefront is. And I think most people would be mind boggled if they knew how much full-time staff Pat has at his disposal. It's unbelievable that they can even keep up with that. It's adjacent to my boat. I don't maintain it just on Fridays and Saturdays. Anybody who's been down there, and you can ask plenty of people, every morning I'm out there with the leaf blowers and I'm blowing it and we're scrubbing it. And last year I had 12 different homeless people, Pat can tell you, power washers. They power washed that plaza. They power washed all the walls. But regardless of whether I'm having the concerts there, that's part of my area. I want people to come down to our lakefront and say, man, look how beautiful this looks. And so, I think with the tickets, I think that number that Shannon said, it will be a lot. If you look at my revenue and you base it on tickets, I think it's closer to that $10,000 to $14,000 range plus the 2,000 base. And like Shannon said, the reason the base was rolled back was the city came to me and asked me to basically double my insurance umbrella. Well, doubling it kind of almost doubled the price of that. So, I want to be partners with you guys. I want to be partners with the city. That's why, the ticket thing works great. We both have a vested interest. I agree with the parking. I don't know how you worked it out because there's so many different entities down there. I don't know if that a lot above Millennium, somebody at one time told me that they used to charge for that lot. I don't know how you work that out. People park at the Port Authority. I think most people are just kind of numb to the fact that you have to pay to park everywhere you go. I just was at a meeting last week in New Buffalo. They're talking about putting parking back on all the streets down there again. So, but I don't have any control of that. I don't know how you work that out. But if there's any way, there's any way to figure out how to realize more revenue, I'm all for it for the city.
All right. So all understandable. And please understand, I am not anti what you have. I just want you to know.
As a business person, I'm a business person. Numbers I understand really well.
Right. I just want you to know that this is not an I love what's happening down there. I had a little bit of a discussion with Will and about all of that. I love what's happening down there. But as a city councilman, I'm trying to look at finances and things of that sort, just seeing if there are ways that we could possibly do some things for revenues. That's all.
Sure.
Like I said, it's not anti, like I said, I told at the very beginning here, I attended a couple of events down there. But I just kind of see the inner workings. I don't know what the revenue was, total revenue for last year and everything like that. So
I think Shannon was just short of $100,000.
Okay.
So, but that's gross. That wasn't after the bands were paid. That wasn't after production. It's not your fault, but I had about almost $20,000 invested in defending a lawsuit that was trying to be put forth by a resident down there. So I think you were down there one weekend, professional sound people with all this equipment that came from Des Plaines, 3 weekends in a row preparing reports. And I'm not so foolish to think people look and they say, oh man, look at this guy's killing it. And I think anybody who knows me and has had any conversations, I'm very blessed and fortunate that you have the faith to let me take that park. I understand it's a public park. It was made with public funds. Like I said, I'd like to program 7 days a week down there. I'd like to program your Guy Foreman Amphitheater. Every other town around here is doing something. I'm trying to get that way for us. I think our park is underutilized. I think there's a ton of money to be made there. I look at other municipalities. You look at Crown Point. You look at, that have all this corporate sponsorship. I don't know who Guy Foreman was. I never met the guy. I'm quite sure he ain't wrote you any checks lately. That amphitheater should say Coca-Cola or Franciscan Health or whoever wants to put forth a check to help you pay and offset the cost, because you're just wasting money down there. Nobody's using that. You're not getting back. You're not even getting back enough to turn the sprinklers on all summer to water the grass on rental fees. So I understand that, and I want to be part of the solution. I don't ever want anybody to look and think that this guy's just making money in our town and taking it. And, I was just literally showing Pat all the new planters and stuff we're putting in. And if that fountain goes away, I'd like to see boxing and MMA down there on Thursday nights. We got people in our town that live here that fight professionally. Like, I would like to program at Plaza 7 days a week, and not all paid events, free events. We should have movie night down there for the residents. We've talked about it. We've tried to do stuff. There's a certain amount of people that don't come to the lakefront, for which I don't understand the reason why. We have the nicest park and beach in all of Northwest Indiana on the lake.
right. And once again, all understandable. Just a couple of questions.
Sure.
That's all.
It's all I want to do is answer them. And if there's something that you need of me, the city, all you got to do is ask. I'm amenable to anything. Once again, I understand you're giving me and putting your trust in me with this park to do the right thing. And I also understand that, you know, from a political standpoint, yeah, people ask questions like the gentleman back there. They see and say, hey, you're making all this money. Why isn't the city getting this? But I have no problem paying my way. I'm not asking for anything for free.
All right, I gotta cut off and address that. This is not a political.
No, I don't mean it like that. That's not what I meant it by.
Okay, I just heard political, so that's.
No, I don't mean it like that. I don't even do politics. No, what I meant is
Thank you for not using that word.
everybody has to answer to somebody. If you're the CEO of a company,
Right,
you
right.
have to answer to somebody. And so when people ask questions, what I mean is you have to answer those questions. Just like this gentleman had questions.
It's just.
You're public figures, you have to answer those questions for them. That's what I meant. I didn't mean
It's all good. I said I had a conversation with Will here, so I had information before I came in. I just had a couple of questions. That's all it was. And I wish you luck down there because it does bring people down. I wish we could find a way to bring them further down, into the park itself. But we're working with what we have. This is the cards we were dealt. You found a good way to utilize that space, and I like that. But it's just a couple of questions. That's all.
we like our lights display at Christmas time. It's incredible. Got to figure out a way to monetize that because the city spends a lot of money on it. But we should have a Chris Kringle market down there in the winter. I'd be the guy who'd want to put it together, and then we can give our businesses an opportunity to come down there and sell and do stuff. And
I am sold. I'm sold. So
let's stick to the agenda item.
yes, thank you.
you're welcome.
Just for reference, so the board knows, in the 5 years prior to Harbor Country using Millennium Plaza, our highest rental year was only $1,900. So we weren't making money. Again, there were no amenities down there. We had a handful of weddings. That was about it.
Thank you.
Well,
Any more board comment? Any comment from the public? Okay, Harbor Country Adventures Agreement.
I would so move that this board approves the license agreement between Michigan City Park Board and Harbor Country Adventures for non-exclusive use of Millennium Plaza for 2026.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Harbor Country Adventures Greenhouse Lease Agreement.
yes, so the board has a 3-year lease agreement with Mr. Thierry for the greenhouse building in Washington Park. 2026 would be, it'd be April 7th, 2026 through April 6th of 2027 would be the 3rd and final year of the agreement. At that point, we would have to get appraisals again and go back through the bid process that we did 3 years ago. So I would recommend approval of the 3rd and final year.
Any board comment? Any comment from the public? What's your pleasure?
I would make a motion that the board approves the Harbor Country Adventures Greenhouse lease renewal for its final and 3rd year.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Washington Park Zoo Animal Request.
Yes, that was included in your packet, and Zoo Director Jamie Huss is here to answer any questions you may have.
Hello. So basically, I kind of give a lot of information, background information. Most people don't know that zoos don't have just like a shopping list that we can go buy animals. It is a process that we have to kind of look into animals when they come available. We do have an aging collection because we are a rescue zoo. So there's a few animals that are for education, like the falcon, hedgehog, some animals for breeding programs, like the river otter. And some are just for display, like the owl, avian species, and the lemurs. And we wanted to place the zebu cat that was born last season. She's just to the age that she's weaned and time to go to a home in another zoo facility for education department over there. If you have any questions, I can try to answer your questions.
Any comment?
There's no screaming goat on your list.
No screaming goats. But we have enough pygmy goats to make up for that.
I was just curious on any sort of timeline for the acquisition. I know you said there's not a shopping list, it's kind of as available, but just curious.
Yeah, we're in a zoo association, so what we'll do is we'll post the animals that we're looking for on that list. And as they come available, we'll go and get them from there. But it can take a few weeks, it can take a few years, depending on what comes available. Most zoos like we do have a questionnaire. So it kind of based on what your collection currently has to see if there's a better use in a breeding program. Surplus animals kind of go from that point on. So we kind of get, most of the animals coming to us are either non-breeding animals or seniors that need to be placed. So when we're a holding facility than a breeding facility.
Any comment from the public? What's your pleasure?
I would make a motion that the board approve the Washington Park Zoo's animal request for January of 2026.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. We have the 2026-2027 administrative fees and contracts.
Yes, so our recommendations were included in your packets, as well as comparison data, so you can see how we did last year with all of our rentals. There are page numbers, so if you do have questions, please reference the page number so we know what you're looking at.
Right.
And we'd be happy to answer any of your questions.
Right. I didn't print one for everybody because it was 123 pages.
Yeah, I was reading it earlier. I did have a question on page, let me get it here, sorry. On page 17, it looks like we're adding or going up in fees for everything, and the only thing that hasn't changed is actually went down $1 is the BPA tournament fees. Is there a reason? Like the field per day went up, the field second day went up, the second day max went up, the field half day all went up, and BPA has been at $9.35 since 2022, and now it's $9.34. It actually went down $1. I didn't know.
I think it's a typo.
Oh, is it typo? Okay.
We
Is there a reason we haven't upped the BPA cost at all for anything?
So actually, this year with BPA, we actually asked them to pick 2 less weeks in the fall than what they normally picked, mainly because last fall they canceled their whole fall season. So we didn't bring in any revenue from the cancellations. And we're looking for ways to put other events out there to bring in for sure revenue in the fall. So this year we didn't change it because we took 2 weeks away from them. And we're in talks with them now. We're watching over this year to see how the fall goes. And next year's MOU could be a lot different than what it looks like this year.
That's good news.
Yeah.
That's one thing I had another question is about, like if they don't have an event, they don't pay that day, like for the fields.
No, so they do also pay a flat $10,000 field maintenance fee every year. So that kind of counts as their cancellation backup is the $10,000 that they pay, the flat fee that they pay every year. No, regardless if they had an event or not, they pay the $10,000
Can we use the 10,000 for like field maintenance?
field maintenance.
How much of that? What do we make off that after all the? I mean, Diamond Dry and all that stuff's like $100 a bag.
Patriot Park, we're working on it. We're trying to maintain it, but it's really not utilized enough. It's not rented out enough, and that's something that we're trying to change right now. Actually, this year, next year we'll be moving 8U out of Patriot Park. They'll play some games out there, but we'll be moving them into the inner city parks. We're rehabbing Adams Park for use. We'll be using Gardena Park for games again. And hopefully we'll be getting one more set of fields to use in the inner city instead of having the 8U drive out to Patriot Park, which we can use that for travel teams to rent out.
Yeah. Because I know I'm sure they charge the parents to get in for the weekend out there.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, I don't know if we could work with them on parking and charge for parking and be something that we could generate revenue from.
We used to charge for parking, but now it's manning the parking. And that's the issue. We don't have people out there to man it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also increased their fees when we stopped collecting at the gate and rolled it in. to the fee, so we wouldn't have to have the personnel, but we'd still get the revenue. So that was considered.
No, I just see what what they pay a weekend or a day, and compared to what the cost to rent a field is relatively low.
Me and you are on the same page.
And I think, and as you know, you're involved in sports just like I am. The cost of those things, what they charge the teams to come and play,
Yeah.
and I understand there's a trickle down effect. They stay at the hotels, they go to the restaurants, they do things like this. But for our revenue and things like that, I know what they charge the teams to come and play,
Mm-hmm.
and and they're running a business, like this gentleman earlier said, but there's got to be some ways for us to generate some more revenue possibly out of these events, because that's like 22 weekends they get to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, 22 weekends with 5 fields. I'm not a business person, but I know I can kind of guess where we're at and what they're making compared to what we're bringing in to host the events.
I can say in 2024, I was pretty naive on the whole thing. I had to do a lot of research. I think this year I let them know that I understood what was going on and that it was under a watchful eye, and that changes might be coming down in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I had a question, page 40. These are the 2026 Washington Park parking fees. Under the second section, daily parking fees, Thursday night band concert 7 p.m. and after, is that $4 or $40? $4. Okay. So just want to make
They
sure.
come in for the 7:30 concert at 7:00, it's $4.
Okay.
Now, these may be revised very quickly with more business coming up.
That's what I was
Starting autumn.
I was wondering that if this. Okay.
Yep.
So normally all these fees are done in October, but because of our network crash, we didn't have access to put the comparison data together. So that's why they're late. And then in the meantime, Will's been working on the automation.
Okay.
So
Okay. We want to, any comment from the public about the softball, baseball MOU?
No, it's fees and contracts.
Pardon me?
Administrative fees and
Oh, I'm
contracts.
sorry. I jumped ahead. 2026, 27 administrative fees and contracts, public comment? None. We need a motion.
Could I ask a question before the motion? If the parking fees may be affected by later business, how do we approve or motion to approve? Could I just approve?
I would say approve it, because if you deny or table that, then we would have to have something else in place.
Okay.
If that doesn't work out.
Then I would make a motion that we approve 2026, 2027 administrative fees and contracts.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Now, we're back to softball and baseball MOU. This is the last year of their 3-year contract.
Yes. So nothing in this contract, as you just stated, nothing in this contract was changed besides the dates. Oh, that's not true. It used to say that they had exclusive rights, and now they have first rights of refusal. So they get to pick the dates that they want. And before, I couldn't go without their permission. I couldn't go talk to another group without getting their permission to talk to another group to use the fields. We took that away. They understand that we're trying to generate more revenue out there. And it's kind of late for us to do it this year, but going into next year, I can book some extra dates going into next season. I don't have to usually, nobody's setting up tournaments late into the year. They're already booked for this coming season. So it's really just looking for what I can do for next season.
Any other comments from the board? Any comment from the public?
And I know we just mentioned, I just have a sticking point with 10 there under section 4, section 10 that, $311.59 is returned due to inclement weather. I don't agree with that at all, but That's just me, just the idea that I know that if they play on Friday and then part of Saturday, they don't return the fees to the teams for Saturday, Sunday. So not only are they making a ton of money off that, they're not paying us anything. We generate nothing off that. But that's just my 2 cents. Having worked and umpired those events, I know that if you play on Friday and then you play a couple games on Saturday, or they play partial on Saturday and nothing on Sunday, there's no refund for the teams. So they keep all the entry fees. They pay none of the officials. They pay none of their workers really on Sunday. And we give them a discount of $311.59. But just my 2 cents.
You're the person that's about to vote on it.
So any other further comment?
Was there any particular discussion of that? Was that a sticking point or just?
It's all I can go back to the table and I can negotiate anything. Honestly, I was more worried about no revenue coming in the fall than I was the $311 for a Sunday. And but I can go back to the table. That's not a problem at all.
Table?
I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. It's the last year of the agreement.
That's another thing I was thinking. It was the last
It's
year.
the last year of the agreement. I
We
think,
can make changes for the next
yeah,
year.
I would, I'm gonna motion, I'll do it this time to approve this. But I think at the end of the year, we gotta look at this a little bit more deeper.
Yes,
And
sir.
it sounds like you already have started, so.
Oh, yeah.
So I motion to approve the 2026 NSA BPA memorandum of understanding.
I would second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
We have the 2026 adult softball packets.
Neither one of these packets have changed from last year. Well, dang, that's not true either. Okay. If you remember last year, we lowered the price of Big Bat from $550 down to $475. Number one, I wanted to know why co-ed and Big Bat were two different prices, and it wasn't a good reason for it. So I did cost analysis of both leagues, and I came up with $475 being a good number to run both leagues because it cost about the same to run them both. So we raised the price of co-ed from $425 up to $475, and we lowered the price of Big Bat from $550 down to $475. So they're equal pricing now, and I think it's very fair. We came very close to breaking even on adult softball this year. And when the last time you think that happened?
Yeah.
How
So,
many teams did we end up with?
co-ed, we had 8 teams in the summer, 7 teams in the fall, and we didn't have Big Bag at all. We had two teams sign up altogether. So we didn't even have Big Bat. 3. Yeah. And kind of my rule right now, softball is kind of a dying thing. Well, for us, it's a dying thing. We can't get new teams to sign up. It's been the same 7, 8 teams for the last at least 4 or 5 years. And they've probably been playing longer than that. If we can't start to get new teams, they're going to start to fade away. So I think that's what's happening with Big Bat right now.
Any other board comments? Any comments from the public? Then what's your pleasure?
Were those changes, Mr. Barker, were those to both spring and fall? No other changes otherwise they're the same?
Yeah, besides that, the only thing changed in the packets were the dates.
Okay.
The year.
I would make a motion if we're able to do it jointly to approve the 2026 adult softball packets for spring and fall 2026.
See, Keisha has joined us. So
Yeah.
want to call her?
Oh, so I got to do individual roll call. Yeah.
This board has joined us by Zoom.
Need a second.
Second, sorry.
Okay, I got to do a roll call. Mr. Glidden,
Aye.
Mr. Lavis,
Aye.
Ms. Esper,
Aye.
Ms. Ward.
Aye.
Motion carries. I have to remember that again.
We have a park mobile agreement for mobile payment at Washington Park.
All right. We are moving toward, we would like to move toward having mobile payments at Washington Park. This would change some things. This would eliminate having gate attendants where you have to pay cash or card at the gate when you drive in. This would be more like parking on the street downtown in Chicago where you find a parking space. You could use mobile payments, so use a QR code to go to a website, pull up the Park mobile app, or go to the website, or text-based payments. There will also be 4 pay stations within the park where you could pay by cash or card. We will have parking enforcement officers who would ride around the park, checking license plates to see if you had paid for parking or if you haven't paid for parking. And they would write citations. Citations would be processed by a company that we would talk about next called Park Loyalty. And we did that because our legal system in Michigan City is already bogged down by citations from the building department and other legal issues. And they said that adding more citations they would just get backed up and the citations wouldn't be processed at all. We would never see them go through their life cycle. So contracting it out was the better option. There is a cost analysis that the board has that implementing this would still leave us at $7,000 a head compared to the parking numbers that we had this year. There is a upfront. There's no cost for Park Mobile. It all comes through a processing fee that the user would pay upon parking. Ms. Dreska is available via virtual connection. If you have any questions about Park Mobile, between the two of us, we'd be able to answer anything.
So you still need to get a park sticker.
Yes. So
Then your license plate's automatically.
So you actually won't need to get a park sticker. You will still register just like you had before. You'll be able to go down to the park office and register like you had before, or we'll be able to do online registrations now where you will online, you'll be able to put in your address. It will tell you if you're Civil City, LaPorte County, or outside of LaPorte County, and you'll be charged accordingly or not charged accordingly. And that will put you on a database in our system. So you wouldn't have to do, at that point, once you register, you wouldn't have to do anything. You come into the park, you park, and when we come by and check the license plate, it will say paid already. I mean, you wouldn't have to pay, but it will say paid for that vehicle. You get what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. And so the Park Mobile is the hardware for the system that we're buying.
So Park Mobile is actually the app that you would go to and pay on. It's the forward face of the whole operation. And Park Mobile is actually the leading parking app in the country. And anybody who goes to Chicago, it's the exact same company that they use for street parking out there. And we will use the same pay stations as used on the streets in Chicago as well. So weather dependent, vandal dependent, they can hold on to the test time. Hold up to the test.
I think people need to know how much the fee is. I don't think you brought that up. I mean, I know what it is, but.
Look, can I see that paper? I don't want
This
to.
one?
Yes, I don't want to missay any numbers. That's not even the right one.
Was that 123 page one?
Be looking for the fee for what?
The upfront.
Rather than $20, now you're paying per hour. People.
Oh yeah,
People aren't aware of
we
that.
didn't say that. We didn't say that part. Okay, so we are looking at going towards an hourly based system instead of a flat rate system for two main reasons: the zoo and the restaurant. We think that the zoo is taking a major hit on admissions because of the $20 parking fee. This would reduce the fee to go to the zoo for 2 hours from $20 to $6. just paying a $3 an hour fee. And we are also, this will come back once this is all approved. At the next meeting, we'll come back with a possible validation process that would take away one of those hours if you buy an adult ticket to the zoo. Giving you a further benefit of being able to go to the zoo and pay less for doing it. The same for the restaurant. When you go pay at the restaurant, you'll get a 1 hour validation code on your ticket to validate for 1 hour.
But we have not determined the hourly parking fees yet, if that's what you're asking.
Yes.
No, I was just to make sure that people don't think they're still spending $20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to go by the hour.
Yeah.
And we're paying the people to be the monitors.
We're going to monitor. So we're not getting rid of our beach employment that we're doing. We didn't want to get rid of summer employment. We'll still have enforcement. We'll have liaisons that will be able to be at the beach during peak hours to help people, whether it's parking situations, finding out what events go on, finding out where bathrooms are, where the restaurant is, menus for restaurants, like just kind of helping out, being a guide more than saying, give me your money.
And the payroll, not so much, but the enforcers, like I said, you call them, they're 7 days a week.
Enforcer would be 7 days a week. Yeah, I mean, we have to have people out there manning a lot to make sure that people are actually paying. So they'll be 7 days a week. They'll be able to ride around on the golf carts to scan each vehicle, and they can ride. There'll be 2 enforcement officers at all times, and they'll be able to work either side of the park and work back towards the middle, and they can do half of the park scanning all the cars in about 20 to 25 minutes.
And this also includes stop 2.
This also includes stop 2. This will start, there are signs, there have always been signs at stop 2 that say this part, you're supposed to have a beach sticker out there. It should be enforced, but because of our staff, we haven't been able to force it, but now we'll be able to ride that way.
And if I don't pay my fee, if I don't pay I'm a abuser. I'm from out of town. I didn't get a sticker.
Yeah.
And I don't pay. What happens?
You will come back to your car at the end of your beach trip, and you will have a citation on your window. You will have $10 or 10 days to pay the citation, which also the fee is, we haven't come up with yet. There is a standard fee of $59, I think it is, or is it? I think it's $59 is a standard fee, but our fee we haven't come up with, depending on the fees that are in the contract, in the park loyalty contract. But if you don't pay, it goes to collection bureaus, just like credit cards or anywhere else that you wouldn't pay a citation,
But not through our staff.
It's not through our staff, it's through a contracted staff. Yes.
Do we think we'll be able to hire adults to do these jobs? Because I know a lot of our summer help is college age kids or high school kids, and dealing with adults who just got a $59 ticket is going to be a pretty challenging event for a 17 to 22-year-old.
Yeah. Enforcement will have to be an older crowd, but that's why we kept the liaison. That's why we have the liaison position, so we can still employ the high school students and the college students, and they wouldn't be put in that situation. It'd be the enforcers that are looking for, that can hold up to that job.
I watch that Parking Wars show out of Philly sometimes, and
that's the first thing my dad brought up.
I was like, man, we're gonna have like Parking Wars, Michigan City, and like down at the beach. Here we go.
Will we have? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
In addition to those that are enforcing, will we have Michigan City police officers still there?
Or
no?
I mean, the police department will ride through like they always ride through.
Okay.
They'll be around, but they aren't stationed at the beach.
Okay, I see. I was thinking the same thing that Mr. Lavis was saying. They would probably need some backup.
Some backup for sure.
As we talked earlier with the Harbor Adventures, is there a way we could add this into where people park for the concerts and do like to generate revenue?
There's a way to do it, but we will have to have an agreement with the Port Authority to be able to do that. That's not those parking spaces aren't Park Department. Those are Port Authority.
just an idea that maybe that's a way we could generate some revenue. We talked earlier, if people are going to park there, even if it's just $2-3 a car, just for those concerts, that'd be a way for us to generate a little revenue back, as a board or as the parks. So.
Yeah, when that got brought up during that segment, I thought about that, but we had to get through this portion of it first.
Gotcha.
Did I hear correctly that the expense to the city, there wouldn't be any expense for Park Mobile? That would be built into the application?
Yeah.
It would just be for the outsourcing of the citations for Park Loyalty?
So there's also payment for pay stations.
That was my next question.
So the pay stations are actually the most expensive part of the whole process. But last year we still had 40-ish% cash payments. So we didn't want to negate those people who only bring cash to the beach, especially in the first couple years. People still have to get used to it. That's why we opted to go with pay stations, with some pay stations in there. And I left. There was a paper, the second paper right there on the back that has all the payments that's in the contract.
Sorry, I didn't.
I see.
Sorry.
Yep.
So for example, an out of towner comes and pays for 2 hours cash,
Yes.
and then they go over.
So if you pay for 2 hours cash, once your time is about to run out, and in like 30 minutes till the end of your time, you'll get a text message or a notification via the app that your time is running out, and you'll be able to add more money to it, or you'll be able to go to a pay station and add more money that way.
How many pay stations are there?
4. There would be one towards the front of the main lot, one towards the back of the main lot that kind of splits between the main lot and North Point Pavilion, one closer or one by the zoo in the zoo lot, as a lot of people would be in that area, and another one one by the senior center. For that whole lot over there, we had to put them in places where electricity was close, so we didn't have to pay the, what do you call that, maintenance fee or infrastructure fee to put electricity somewhere. Fetters Alley will be a mobile payment zone, only because there's no electricity down there. So trying to do the infrastructure to get electricity there, keep the price as low as we can. There will be signs when you go down towards Fetters that says mobile payments only.
Okay.
Unless you stop at a pay station and get your pay for your parking and then drive down into Fetters, then you'll be okay.
I see this as a big benefit to patrons of the zoo and the restaurant, but I think we're going to need some signage to educate people this first year.
Yeah, I was actually hoping to have this passed before the end of the year last year, but with the network stuff that happened and some approvals that I had to have with the contracts, it kind of got pushed back a little bit. I plan on already doing a lot of outreach to get the information out there, but that's my next step. Once this is approved, once we have prices, there'll be a ton of outreach going out, radio stations, local access TV, newspaper, the Beecher. Yeah.
I know we're going to have some residents that have been here for a long, long time and used to the park stickers. So we're going to have to really help them with the technology aspect of this or getting them signed up. That's the only concern I have for some of the people. I mean, it's 2026. This is what everybody's doing. I understand this, but I know there's a lot of people that have lived here 50, 60, 70 years, and for them to now have to go on an app and computer, we're going to have to have something set up somewhere for people to come by and get set up.
So the best thing about it, they all still have to come down to register for their car. I mean, for their sticker, they'll be
able to do it like that.
They can still come down to register, but instead of getting the sticker, it'd just be a person back there putting them in the system, registering the license plate.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, and then they can explain that now you're good. You don't have to worry about somebody not letting you in. You just drive in and park.
Couple questions.
Yes, sir.
What is the effective date? When do we plan to start this program?
The week before Memorial Day.
This year.
When the park opens.
And this has some kind of public workshop or something written all over this where people can come down and take a look at how this is going to work. This sounds like a lot of work on the front side to get going. And then I think once it gets going, I think you'll be pretty good. But this looks like it has a public workshop, maybe even a couple written all over it to get this information out. And you planning on doing it this year? We got a couple of months there to get moving.
So I think it's easiest on the citizens of Michigan City. Because all you have to do is register like you've always registered, and that's all you have to do.
Sounds very simple.
I mean, explaining that to people is a whole nother thing.
I mean, like bring somebody out from this company, somebody to, you guys are you're doing a great job explaining how it works, but I really believe that this is going to take this is going to be information that's going to have to be, some kind of public, workshops or something like that, where these people come and explain what's happening. Because we hear all the time. You didn't notify us.
Oh yeah.
Tell us.
So me and Lindsay have had that conversation a few times already, and she actually offered to be here today. And I told her that I think I can answer most of the questions, and hopefully I've done a good job.
You have done a good job.
But Shannon and Melissa and myself, I think we asked me 1,000 questions already.
Right.
Shannon she looked into do a similar project about 5 years ago, and Shannon, her notes were very, very thorough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I started this project, that was with her notes, and just, me trying to move us forward in technology.
Yeah, but I would say, like I said, I'll just stress that again. I think you seriously should consider getting somebody here from the company to explain how this is going to work. In my mind, I could picture this. There's going to be a lot on the front end to get this up and running. And then, as time goes, it's going to, be easier, but this initial step, and I keep looking at the time frame, and it's short. It sounds like a lot of time, but that's actually not a lot of time to get this information out. I know you're going to be working the auto app and all that good stuff. See, I'm putting a plug in for you, Will. But if I were you, man, I would really, really think about that. Let's see if you can get some of those things scheduled and get them to come down and talk about this. It'll help. It'll be helpful.
I appreciate the words.
And just for clarification, for Michigan City residents or for anyone who purchases an annual sticker, you shouldn't have to use these mobile pay stations.
Nope.
Only for those who do not have the sticker and are parking in the lot.
100%. Yes.
Any further board comment? Any comment from the public?
Mr. Manor.
Bruce Manor, 302 Autumn Trail, Michigan City, Indiana. I'm concerned about when you brought up the Port Authority, are you actually going to try to get parking spaces that the Port Authority is now in charge of?
I'm not trying to take over Port Authority parking, not at all. The only question was about if we could do something with the concert nights. Right now, neither one of us is benefiting from parking for concert nights, and it might be a way for us both to benefit a little bit on those nights.
Okay, the other question I had was, is this going to be in effect just until the park closes? The park closes what, at 10 o'clock at night?
Yes. I mean, we can't enforce overnight. I'm not going to have 24/7 enforcement, so we won't be able to enforce over the night.
What about people that want to come down and watch the sunsets? Do they have to pay to park just to watch a sunset?
So they will have to, right now they have to pay $20 to watch a sunset.
Oh, boy.
Now now, as it is now, you have to pay $20 to come down and watch the sunset. Now you have to pay for an hour or 2 hours, which would be $6 to $8 to watch the sunset.
I think that's going to be a problem. It's just my opinion.
So the price going down from $20 to $8 is going to be the problem?
Just to see a sunset? I mean, they'll be there for what? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe at the most.
So if they time it out right.
Pay to see the sun go down.
So I'm saying for the last 4 years, you had to pay $20 to come in there for those 15 minutes to watch the sunset. Now you have to pay, if you time it out right, you could pay $4 or $3 for the 1 hour and watch the sunset. And then it used to be $20 that you had to pay to drive through the main lot, just to drive through. I know, like when I was a kid, that was part of what we did was just drive through the lot and leave. Now, if you don't register in time, you can just drive through the lot. If you don't park, you're driving through and driving out. You don't have to pay.
Yeah, I understand. Only if you're not a resident of Michigan City, I understand that. Okay, thank you.
You can ask any question. You know where to find me, Mr. Manor.
Thank you. Any other comment for the public? Any other comment from the board? We're talking about the Park Mobile Agreement. Any
Motion.
We're ready for motion. I would go ahead and make a motion. I do think it is time, technology caught up, and I think this could help either minimize the cost for a lot of people so that you only have to pay for what you're there for, but also help us to track it. So I'd go ahead and make a motion to approve the Park Mobile Agreement. We'll take them up one by one. I'll start with the motion to approve the Park Mobile Agreement.
All right.
Second.
Mr. Glidden,
aye.
Mr. Labus,
Aye.
Miss Esper,
Aye.
Miss Ward.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Have the arrival agreement.
Do I do the my original agenda? I think there was only the one. So if needed, I would make a motion to also approve the Arrive Agreement, the pay stations.
Mm-hmm.
I would make that motion.
Second.
All right, roll call. Mr. Glidden,
Aye.
Mr. Labus,
Aye.
Miss Esper,
Aye.
and Miss Ward.
Aye.
Motion carries. And the next thing on the agenda is the Park Loyalty Agreement, which is the enforcement permitting. Permitting is the stickers. So it's the software that houses database for the stickers, all the people who are stickered citizens. And then the lifetime cycle of citation processing as well. That's all Park Loyalty.
That's the collection.
That's the collections. Yes.
Any comment from the public? No.
Good evening, Dakota Euler again, 718 Emma Street. Just a few questions, I guess, that came to mind. With like the registration, I understood that you said you could do it online. Just the thought of like, is it still going to be the limit of like 2 vehicles? Or how would that work? Just thinking like some Joe Blow from LaPorte wants to use my address in Michigan City and says they live at my address. How does that verified?
So you'll still have to upload your registration, your vehicle registration, and we'll have to, so you submit online, we'll approve later. So it's not just like you can come in and say, oh, this is me. Like that's not, we still have to approve it.
Okay. And then also I was just wondering about like the many different events that take place down in the parks, such as like the Food and Music Festival and whatnot, with vendors and different stuff like that would be coming in. Would there be any consideration for like passes for them or?
For sure. We'll be able to do, what's the word I'm looking for? Validation passes. And we can do them, we can issue them individually, or we can issue a validation pass that has like a number of validations for that one pass. So that's the same way with facility rentals, when people buy extra tickets for facility rentals, and as well as for vendors for boat race or the music festival or Juneteenth or whatever it may be. And that limiting the number on a validation pass kind of stops you from saying, hey, here, mom, here, dad, here, sister, you can take these. And then you'll run out for your vendors and you have a pissed off vendor on your hand.
And then the only other thing I was considering was, I know the boat races and everything, they utilize down there. I can't think of what the word is.
Better's Alley.
Better's Alley.
Mhm.
And a lot of time they park in the grass in that area, to bring some parking into the beach area, with the rest being mostly boats.
Right.
So I'm just thinking, with that being not really marked parking, if it would still be an hourly rate, or if that would be a different instances.
Our plan is for special events to still do $40 flat fee parking for those days.
That's all I had. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
So we go back to the old system
Just for special events.
for the boat race.
Yeah.
and What's the other, fourth?
4th of July.
Thank you.
They'd have to pay like normal. Or you
No,
said it'd be on the app.
it'd be on the app. That's just $40 for the day.
Great. We need a motion for the park loyalty.
I would so move that we approve the park loyalty agreement, parking enforcement, permitting, and citation lifecycle services.
Second.
All right, roll call. Mr. Glidden,
Aye.
Mr. Lavis,
Aye.
Miss Esper,
Aye.
Miss Ward.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Lindsay. You can say hi.
Hello, everyone. Thank you.
Reports of officers and superintendent's report, Mrs. Issa.
Thank you. Will and Jamie and I met with Zoo Society members on January 12th. We are currently negotiating their annual MOU. We did negotiate some changes to that. It has been sent to their board for review and approval, and I expect it will be presented to you at your next meeting. And I think the changes benefit both sides, so I think you'll be pleased with that. Our team is meeting weekly now with Hitchcock Design Group for the Fetters Alley project. We started last Wednesday. We met again today. Weekly meetings are just helping us move this forward. Design and engineering should be completed by the end of February, and I would expect the board would approve the final designs and get us set up to go out to bid. We are still a little bit short on our budget, and the mayor is seeking additional funding so we can move this project to construction. Ideally, we talked about today, we would start immediately after Labor Day weekend, not to interfere with all of our summer events and the beach crowds, because there's quite a bit of parking in Fetters Alley that would be blocked off by equipment for the project. So we're excited to see that moving forward. A notice to proceed was issued to Housing Associates to do the engineering for the demolition of Millennium Plaza. So they're currently working on that project. They hope to get that back to us in time to put that on your March 4th agenda to get that bid process moving along. A notice to proceed was also issued this week to Larson Danielson for the Wings of Wonder exhibit. So work on that should commence shortly. And then unfortunately, under vandalism, at the golf course, the restroom on the number 15 green was vandalized again. Estimated repair cost, it's totally destroyed. Jeez. Repair costs were in-house around $6,000, contracted out would be $10,000 more or less. So we made the decision to demolish the restroom on number 15. It's just getting vandalized 2 or 3 times a year. So the cost of operating that restroom was $600 per year. We're going to put a porta pot there for an annual cost of $525. So it will save us money. I don't know if you want to pass these around, but just unbelievable.
It's number 6 green.
I'm sorry, number 6.
Number 6T.
T, yes.
Still, it's over by Will's dad's house.
Yeah. Do we not have any cameras anywhere out there?
We tried to put cameras up, but we couldn't hide them well enough and see the space, the bathroom space. Wasn't getting clear pictures, and then one we put up got knocked down.
And that's the end of my report.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The assistant superintendent's report, Mr. Walker.
Youth baseball signups are ongoing right now. You can sign up on the Auto app. Or you can come down to the park department and we'll be happy to get you signed up, get your kids signed up. The early bird discount is still going on for another week. So you get $5 off for that. And there's a $5 sibling discount. So after you sign up your first child, the rest of the children get a additional $5 off. So if you have more than one kid, you can get $10 off right now. So it's a good time to sign up. January 28th is the first meeting for Michigan City Quilting Club at Krieger Memorial Hall from 5 to 7:30 p.m. Jan Wynick is very excited. It's been got a lot of calls and input about Quilting Club, and we're excited to get it going. Outside of that, I have not. I've been working on parking. I'm not gonna lie. So, so yeah, I have more for the report next time. But yes, and I've been working on my first construction project as well. So, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Planning Commission liaison, Ms. Esprey.
Yes, there has not been a meeting of the planning commission since our last meeting.
I am the Port Authority liaison, and they met last week, but they had nothing that would affect us. Mr. Labus, the Zoological Society.
I know they're working out the agreement, so I'm just kind of waiting until they're done and then we'll get back in on everything.
Those talks are going good.
Yep.
Ms. Nuremberg, the attorney's report.
No, I don't have anything. Thank you.
Thank you. Director's reports.
There are none.
Thank you. Department finances.
All right, starting with city claims. We have the Michigan City Park Department claims docket for January 21st, 2026. Municipal funds totaling $128,762.77. There was no golf petty cash for total claims in the amount of $128,762.77. And I would so move that we approve the claims docket for January 21st, 2026.
Second.
Oh,
I'm gonna give that to Ms. Ward.
Please.
Roll call, Mr. Glidden,
aye.
Mr. Labus,
Aye.
Ms. Esper,
Aye.
Ms. Ward.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Payroll next or minor transfers?
Payroll, and there is no payroll 26 yet.
Okay. All right. We have payroll number 23, 2025. For the date or for the pay period 10/26/2025 to 11/14/2025 with a pay date of 11/14/2025. Total payroll $83,603.74. And I would so move that we approve payroll number 23.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Glidden,
Aye.
Mr. Labus,
Aye.
Ms. Esper,
Aye.
Ms. Ward.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Payroll number 24, 2025 for the pay period November 9th, 2025 to November 22nd, 2025 with a pay date of November 26th, 2025. Total payroll $78,931.69. And I would so move that we approve payroll number 24.
All right, roll.
Second.
Oh, sorry. Roll call, Mr. Glidden,
Aye.
Mr. Labus,
Aye.
Ms. Esper,
Aye.
Ms. Ward.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Payroll number 25, 2025 for the pay period November 23 to 12/6 of 2025. Pay date 12/19/2025. Total payroll $75,940.64. And I would so move that we approve payroll number 25.
A second.
Roll call, Mr. Glidden,
Aye.
Mr. Labus,
Aye.
Ms. Esper,
Aye.
Ms. Ward.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And there's no payroll 26, payroll number 1 for 2026, pay period 12/21/2025 to 1/3/2026. Total payroll $73,508.83. And I would so move that we approve payroll number 1.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Glidden,
Aye.
Mr. Labus,
Aye.
Ms. Esper,
Aye.
Ms. Ward.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Reports of gifts and donations. We have Unity Foundation of LaPorte County miscellaneous zoo donation in the amount of $600. Michigan City Zoological Society, zoo donation 35% memberships in the amount of $12,361.18. And Eastport Neighborhood Association T-ball team sponsorship in the amount of $450. And I would move that we approve these gifts and donations.
A second.
Excuse me, roll call. Mr. Glidden,
Aye.
Mr. Labus,
Aye.
Ms. Esper,
Aye.
Ms. Ward.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Comments from the public? Anybody wish to comment from the
Oh,
public?
we've got to do minor transfers? Or not
Yeah,
yet?
minor transfer.
I'm jumping ahead here.
I'm so sorry. I was signing. Okay, minor transfers. We have Zoo Fund 2204.504. This is for the 2025 year-end budget. Decrease amount 413.004 unemployment in the amount of $7,426. Increase account 411.013 regular rate wages in the amount of $1,067. Increase account 411.014 seasonal wages in the amount of $168. Increase account 413.001 FICA in the amount of $2,264. Increase account 413.003 Indiana PRS in the amount of $3,927. Administrative fund, Fund 2204.502 for the 2025 year-end budget. Request to decrease account 411.014 seasonal wages in the amount of $2,009 and increase account 413.001 FICA in the amount of $2,009. And I would so move that we approve these minor transfers.
Second.
Roll call. Mr. Glidden,
Aye.
Mr. Labus,
Aye.
Ms. Esper,
Aye.
Ms. Ward.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mr. Dabney, did you have anything you want to add?
The first one?
Go ahead.
Yes.
A couple comments,
You don't have to.
just noticing how and these are public comments, right? This
Correct.
Public comment, all right. Just noticing, how things are going. And I've been on the council for 10 years. I've been with the park department longer. And these discussions that are coming up now, more and more where we're talking about revenue and things of that, what we're trying to do to gather more revenue. And, it's a tough balancing act because the park department has things that are amenities to our city. And we cannot be hanging our hat on the fact that it's not a huge money maker all the time. It's not a Fortune 500 company. The park department, like I said, does have amenities that may come up a little short. We may have to cover and do some things. And it's kind of sad to me that this conversation is being pushed on this board, on the cities and that, based on things that are happening outside of our control. State legislator and things like that are making it tougher. So it feels a little uncomfortable to me, to be us talking about how much revenue is that making all the time. I even brought it up myself tonight, but these are discussions, like I said, that we're being forced into. And it's sad that it's going that way. Like I said, it's out of our control immediately here that we're doing those things. So just wanted to point that out, to people who are paying attention to this with the city over the past few meetings and, over the last, I'd say 6 months or so, you hear that coming up a lot where we're talking about revenue and so forth. Can we make more revenue? Can we generate more revenue? We've always wanted to at least try to break even with some things. Obviously, we're not going to do programs that are losing a ton of money. We wouldn't do that in the past, but like I said, it's just really sad to see. Hopefully they get their act together. I wanted to say something else there, downstate, and, to allow us to collect more funds to come into the city to help us out. So I'll end on that note, before I spin off a little too hard on my soapbox here. And then also, Will, I was very impressed with the research you've done about the parking. There was a lot of questions coming at you from every angle. And that was very impressive to see the research that you've done to answer those questions. I mean, they were just flying left and right, left and right. So I'm really proud of that, to see you do that. I was down there smiling while you were answering those questions. But thanks for that. And once again, thanks to the park board for being so diligent. That's because most of the questions came for the people here on the board. So thank you for that. And thank you guys for being, like I said, so diligent and doing your due diligence with the items that come up on this agenda. That means you guys are really paying attention, and that is great to see. So once again, thanks for your service to the city. Thanks for your service to the park board. And once again, Will, congratulations on that, man, because I probably would have shut that thing down. Good job.
Thank you, Mr. Dabney. Any other comments from the public or any comments from the board?
I just hope that we can use some marketing strategies. I know this, hopefully one of the big things in my eyes is to help the zoo in attendance. I know for some people, $20 every time from out of town. So hopefully we really market that now. The parking is going to have some, and we're going to have some possible other changes with that, but hopefully we can really get the zoo, because the zoo is a real gem in this city. I think it's often underused. I know when my daughter was younger, we ran many and many hours around there for what you get for a season pass, but especially for people out of town to come and see our great little zoo, which has a lot of big animals. I think this is a great opportunity now with the parking changes. Hopefully we can get a lot more people through the gate and see the things that they might not get to see. Good luck, Jamie.
I completely agree. I also think it allows for those who don't have a sticker to have some flexibility in the cost. And I think that's going to be huge for people who come and visit. So great work to both of you for getting this going. I remember talking about technology back when I was on the park board last, so I'm glad to see it happening.
I subbed it out to Will.
I want to thank Will for dragging us into the 21st century.
It's all right. I can't stay in the past too long.
I motion to adjourn, Mr. President.
Aye.